Alright. Alright, so we're talking about circles. The first thing I'm going to draw is a circle. So if you want, anybody want a compass so you can draw a circle, you got to do it quick. Or you can just freehand the circle if you need to. Here's a circle. Paper. Alright, so if anybody is unsure, this is what a circle looks like. Let's go ahead and label some parts of our circle. The first part I'm going to put on my circle is I'm going to put my center. Now it's not going to be exactly where the center is, but I'm going to guesstimate where my center is, and I'm going to put my center right here. Now we're going to go ahead and draw a line. I'm going to have my line go from the center of the circle to one of the sides of the circle. Does anybody know what this line is called? Yes, my lady.
The radius.
That is the radius. So the radius goes from the center of the circle to the outside of the circle. Another line that we need to take care of looks like this. It goes clean across the circle through the center. What is the name of this circle? This particular line? That is the diameter. Seventh grade or sixth grade? Seventh grade. I'm be going. They bombed the test yesterday, so we're going over everything all over again. Yep, reteaching it, testing tomorrow. Sixth grade. Sixth grade is gonna be lesson 17.
Lesson 17. What modules?
4.
4. Thank you, sir.
Here. Alright, so we have our radius and we have our diameter. Does the diameter and the radius have any type of relationship going on?
Yes.
What is it?
They started the census.
They do both. Well,
They pass. One passed through it.
yeah, anything else that you can look at them and be like, I know if you give me the radius, I can find the diameter. If you give me the diameter, I can find the radius. Anything? If I give you the diameter, can you find the radius?
Yeah, there'll be half of it.
Yeah. All right. So the radius. Oop, you good if I spell it right. The radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. What if I gave you the radius though? I gave you the radius, but you needed the diameter. What could you do?
Multiply by 2.
Multiply the radius by 2. Okay, that was a big problem on the test yesterday. People not realizing that they needed the radius, but they were writing down the diameter, messing everything up. One more number that, well, actually we're going to do 2 more things. I'm going to highlight just the outside of my circle. So I'm going to put a little highlight mark right there. What is the outside of my circle equal to? What do you call the outside of the circle?
Circumference.
That is the circumference. So the circumference is the outside of the circle. We can also call that the perimeter of the circle. Alright, so if I had a garden or if I was making a cow pasture or something like that, and it was a circle in a circle shape, and I wanted to figure out how much fence I need to put up, I would have to find out the circumference, but I have to find out the perimeter. How much is around the circle? What if I wanted to find out for my cow pasture how much straw I needed to put in there? I had to put straw all up in there. What would I find? The area of the circle. So the inside of the circle is my area. Okay? To be able to find these two things, the circumference and the area, we had a couple of formulas, right? Okay? If everybody's got this, I'm going to switch screens real quick and then we're going to write formulas down. Good?
Yeah.
All right. So, to find the circumference of a full circle, how do we find the circumference of a full circle?
Circumference equals pi d.
Circumference equals pi times d. All right, so we got circumference here, we got pi. What the d stands for?
Diameter.
Diameter. All right, so circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. What if I didn't want a full circle? What if I had a semicircle? What would I do? I would do what?
Pi times d divided by 2.
Pi times d divided by 2, yeah. Semicircle is half of a circle, right? So if you got a semicircle or a half circle, you do the same thing. You do pi times d, which is going to give you the full circle, but then divided by 2. Okay? And if I want to find the circumference of a quarter circle, I would do pi times d and divided by 4. What's wrong? What you looking at the board all goofy for?
Because he probably thought it was
Okay, so those are our 3 circumference formulas. Those are the only 3 that we're going to use. And let's talk about the area. And again, we're going to do the area of a full circle. How do you find the area of a full circle?
Area equals pi times r squared.
So pi r squared. Alright, so we're using that pi again. This time it's an r, so that stands for radius. And then if we square it, what does that mean? If your radius is 4,
4 times.
what do you do 4 squared?
4 times 4.
4 squared is 4 times 4, right? So how many times are you multiplying the number, the radius times itself twice? Alright, if we were looking to find the area of a semicircle.
Pi times r2 divided by 2.
So the same exact thing, except you only got half a circle, so you're dividing it by 2. And then the last one, if we got a semicircle, we're doing
Pi times r
pi r squared
squared divided by 4.
divided by 4, because a quarter circle is a quarter of a circle, is a fourth of a circle. Now all of those got pi in it, so what is pi equal to?
3.14.
3.14. So that's the approximated value. 3.14 pi goes on forever, so we're never really exact. So we're going to be approximating these answers. Okay, I think the best thing to do now is we're going to go through this test and we're going to make sure that we understand what every question is and where it comes from and how we should solve it. Okay, so as I'm doing this, if you want to write this on your test, I would suggest maybe doing it in a different color, doing it in ink or however you need to do it, or do it on your paper, on your scratch paper. However you feel like it's the best way for you. I'm going to be doing mine on a blank test. if you write on the test, your stuff's in pencil, so do something other than pencil. That way you can decide what we did right now. All right, here we go. Problem number 1 talks about a pizza, a whole pizza. So pizza, typically, unless you get that thing crushed from the gas station, it's a circle, right? And it says that the circle has a diameter, so going straight across that pizza. What you gotta do with your nose, Brian? It says the diameter is 19 inches. They want to know what's the circumference. So they want to know if you go all the way around this circle, how long is it all the way around the circle? Which we can't measure with a ruler, right? So you have to be able to use the formula. What is the formula to find the circumference of the circle? So C is equal to pi times D. None of these answers have pi in it, so I know I'm not leaving pi by itself. So what am I going to replace pi with? 3.14. So 3.14 times, this says D right here, which is why I kept telling y'all to write the formula, but might have had 4 people in the whole 7th grade write the formula and actually go ahead and use it. So I need the D, I need diameter. So what is the diameter in this problem?
19 inches.
The diameter is 19 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put 19 right here. Is there anything else in my formula that I need?
No.
No. So we use calculators on the test. We're going to use calculators again tomorrow. So 3.14 times 19 gives me 59.66. Which one of these numbers is closest to 59.66? 60. Which is the correct answer. What I noticed on the test yesterday was I did work on every single problem. You can see every problem that I did on my answer key. I wrote stuff down. I didn't just write numbers. But because I gave y'all calculators, people were like, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to type some stuff into the calculator. And was just ridiculously wrong. Like answers should have been like, let me see. One of the numbers that happen a lot. One of the answers should have been 283.385. People were just writing 12. 12. That's what my calculator said. Come on. You still got to do some work even though I'm letting you use a calculator. Alright, this next one, number 2. I knew y'all were having problems with this one because I only had one person, I think it was Bree. I actually drew a picture of what this would look like. And this is, you have to draw a picture so that you know what this means. So we have a pond that is shaped like a circle. I'm going to draw a circle. Here's my pond. The diameter of the pond is 100 yards. So going from one side of the pond through the water to the other side is 100 yards. It says Mary ran along the pond to the opposite side. So Mary's standing right here. This is Mary. And she ran around the pond until she got to the other side right here. Okay? Makes sense? Chuck decided, you know what? I'm going to beat you in this race, bro. Because instead of running around this side of the pond, I'm going to swim clean across it in a straight line. So how far did Chuck swim?
100 yards.
Chuck swam across the diameter, right? He followed that line. So Chuck swam, this Chuck right here, he swam 100 yards, period. No work involved. But Mary ran around this way. So how are we going to figure out how long it was that Mary ran? What are we going to find? We're going to take the diameter and divide by 2?
Yes.
Really? That gives you the circumference of the circle?
C equals pi d.
C is equal to pi d. Why are you dividing it by 2?
Because it's only a half of the circle.
Because this is a semicircle. She ran right here and got to the other side. Okay? So there ain't no divide, just dividing something by 2. This is the circumference. She's going around the circle. Anytime you go around a circle, that's circumference. And because it's only a semicircle, you got to divide it by 2. So we're going to go ahead and do 3.14 for pi times the diameter. Diameter is still 100 yards, right? So 3.14 times 100 and dividing that by 2. So 3.14 times 100. And then take that answer and divide it by 2. And that gives you 157 yards. So Chuck swam across and swam 100 yards. Mary ran around and ended up doing 157 yards. 57 yards more than Chuck. Alright, unless Chuck's a really slow swimmer, he probably won the race. But the question says, did Mary run the same distance as Chuck? No. Did she swim about 1.5 times the distance Chuck swam?
Yes.
Okay, so 1.5 times. Let's see. Chuck went 100 yards times 1.5 times would be 150. Is that about what she got?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm going to circle that, but I'm going to check the rest too. Did she go 3 times more than Chuck? So 1 times 3, 100 times 3 is 300. Did she go 300 yards?
No.
No. Did she go 600 yards?
No.
No. So the only answer has got to be 1.5 times more than Chuck. Okay? And if you circled C on the test yesterday, I gave you points for it because I had the wrong answer because I didn't divide by 2 on my answer key at first. And then I had to actually draw the picture, and then I was like, actually when I saw a Bree's picture, I was like, wait a second, that's not what I did. So then I went and corrected my answer. But I still, if you had C, I still gave you points. Okay, any questions on those 2? All right. Number 3, we've been dealing with circumference this whole page. This last page is also circumference. Here's the top of a Coke can. They want to know what's the circumference of the Coke can. Doing the same thing that we did for number 1. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Is this a semicircle or a quarter circle?
No.
No, so we don't have to divide anything. No dividing. We're going to do 3.14 times the diameter. This is the diameter right here, and it says it in the problem. So times 2.75. Take my calculator and go 3.14. Get rid of that 7 though. 3.1. Come on now. 3.14 times 2.75. And I get 8.635. Is that an answer anywhere on here? No. We went to the thousands place, but this one goes to the hundreds. So can we round this number to the hundreds?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be 8.6. Come on, DeBron. This is going to become a 4. So let us see. I'm sorry? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, so far, I'm still seeing one person's head down. So I don't know if I'm going to make it harder or not. One person's desk is still empty.
You sure you gonna write this down?
Especially that score from yesterday. And since you only did like the first page. Number 4, we're talking about a basketball rim. What shape is the basketball rim?
A circle.
Yeah, if you're looking from the roof or you're looking from the ceiling, basketball is a circle, right? If you're going from one side of the rim to the other side of the rim and it's 18, what is that 18? Is that your diameter or your radius?
Diameter.
That is your diameter. It goes all the way across the circle. So, to find the circumference, that's what we need. We need that diameter. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. It's our 4th circumference problem in a row. So, pi is 3.14 times the diameter is 18. 3.14 times 18 is 56.52. And that is answer C. Which I think a lot of people got that one right. Okay, so that one's just like number 1, just like number 3, same stuff. Find the circumference of a whole circle. Alright, number 5 is where things start to change up on us. Now we gotta start reading. Is this the diameter right here?
No, that's the radius.
Right? That's our radius. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that down. This is my radius. That way I know. The first thing they want me to do in part A, I'm gonna do my work for part A right here. They want me to find the area of this circle. How do we find the area of our circle?
A equals pi r2
Pi r, not times 2, pi r squared.
squared.
That's two different things. Times 2 and squared are two different things. Is it a full circle, half circle, or quarter circle?
Full.
Full, so I don't divide this by anything, right? No. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of this. I also had the answer if you left pi alone, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna do everything. Every time I see a pi, I'm straight up making it 3.14. Okay? Go with that. So pi 3.14 times, we need our radius for this problem. So that radius is 3.2. And we gotta square that. Can't forget the square. That was a problem on quite a few tests too. You didn't go back and look and make sure, okay, I got pi. Okay, do I have the radius? Yep, that's my radius. And did I square it? Yeah, I squared it. Okay, we don't divide anything this time. So the first thing I gotta do is do this exponent. So 3.2. And if you wanted to square it, there's a square button, or you can hit this button right here. Okay, so that's a square button on your calculator. Or you can just simply do 3.2 times 3.2 and get 10.24. So it's 3.14 times 10.24. I'm going to take that 10.24, multiply it times pi, and I get 32.1536. And that is my area for this circle. That will go in the blank, obviously.
I got this whole problem, man.
Okay, now they tell me for part B, same circle. Now I need to find the circumference. So circumference, and this is part B. Circumference is pi times the diameter. Okay, no problem. Pi is 3.14 times, my diameter is 3.2, right?
No, that's the radius.
Oh wait, that's the radius. Alright, but my formula right here that I wrote down says diameter. How can I take the radius and find the diameter?
Add it.
I can add them together, right? I can do 3.2. I can do 3.2 plus 3.2 and get 6.4. Or I can come with my calculator and say, hey, you know what? The radius, if I multiply the radius times 2, that's going to give me my diameter. So my diameter is 6.4. Okay? Another way you can do it, and I don't want this to confuse you, I'd rather you do it this way. Another way is to change the formula. So you can do circumference is equal to pi 2r. So if you take pi, you have to multiply the radius times 2 and then multiply times pi. But that's another formula to get you confused. I'd rather you just stick with this one and just realize that that is not the diameter. That's the radius. A lot of people just did, oh, circumference? Okay. Yeah, he gave us the formula. I'm going to just go ahead and do 3.14 times 3.2 and call it a day. Not right. Okay, so 3.14 times 6.4 is going to give us our answer 20.096. 20.096.
Like the way.
And then the last part of this problem, which not many people got right, maybe 2 or 3. There is another circle, circle B, which has a radius that is twice the length of radius of the circle A. Alright, so if I've got a whole nother circle here, and they say that my radius, which is this line right here, is 2 times bigger than this one right here, it's twice that. That means that this radius is now how long?
Double.
Yeah, what's double 3.2?
6.4.
6.4. So that's my new radius, and it says, which statement is true about circle A and circle B? And all of these things talk about the area, so I guess I should find the area of this problem. Because I'm telling you right now, 80% of the people that I tested I saw ain't had not a single piece of work for this one. They just, oh, it's half, oh, it's times 4. No, you gotta do some work and figure it out. We need to find out what's the area of this new circle B. So area is equal to pi r squared, 3.14 times the radius is 6.4, and we need to square that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6.4 times 6.4 and get 40.96. Was that a question I just heard? Somebody just said where that's from or something? No? Okay. So 6.4 squared is equal to 40.96. I'm going to multiply that times pi, so 3.14. And I get 128.6144. So here's the area for that one. Here's the area for this one. And now I got to figure out which one of these is true. So is the area of circle A half of this one? Well, let's see. Here's B. If I divide it by 2, that would be half. Is that half?
No.
No. Part B says the area of circle A is 1/4 of circle B. Okay. So if I've got 128.6144 and 1/4 of that is 32.156. So would B be right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so B looks like it would be right, but let's check the rest of them. The area of circle A is 2 times more than B. I'll do 128.6144 and multiply it times 2. Is that what this one is? I got an answer of 257.22. No, so the only correct answer, and obviously D's not going to be the answer because if it ain't 2 times bigger, it's showing to be 4 times bigger. The only correct answer is B on that one. Alright, now some composite shapes. This was lesson 14 or something like that, I think. I get my lessons confused with 6th grade. Alright, so the figure is made up of a semicircle and it is made up of a triangle. Find the approximate perimeter. So we need to find the perimeter of this. So to find the perimeter, I got to add up all my sides. So I need to add up this side, which we already know. I got to add up this side, which we already know. And then I got to add up all of this stuff around the outside of the circle, which we don't know. Do you think the outside of this shape is 10 feet?
No.
No. 10 feet goes across the shape. That ain't got nothing to do with anything, Julia. We don't add that up. But I had a lot of people add up all these numbers. Okay? So, for us to be able to find out what this missing number is, we got to find the circumference, the outside of the circle. Circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Is that a full circle that we got right there?
No.
No. How much of a circle is that? Half a circle. So what I gotta do to the formula for a whole circle? Who?
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2. We need half of the whole circle. So we know what pi is, 3.14. Do you know your diameter of that half circle?
10 feet.
10 feet, yeah. Because I think when people see it like this, they don't think about it as being a full circle. So draw the full circle if you need to. This is the full circle. Is that dotted line my diameter?
Yes.
Yeah, it goes through the center and it touches both sides of my circle. So that is my diameter. So 3.14 times 10. We can't forget that we need to divide it by 2 because that's what y'all told me to do in the formula here. And then we're just gonna go ahead and do the math. We do the top of the fraction first. And if you want to grab a calculator right now, you're more than welcome to yet. Right there, right here. If you walk in front of the camera, you can tell when ahead.
Oh, nobody walked in front of the camera.
Nobody wants to talk to winner.
Nope.
So we're doing 3.14 times 10, which is going to give us 31.4. And then we're going to take that and we're going to divide it by 2. So that gives us 15.7. So that means the circumference, the outside of the rounded part of our semicircle up here, is equal to 15.7. So for us to find a perimeter where our fence would go around this thing, right, wherever the dark line is, we just need to add all that up now. So it's going to be 15.7 plus 8 right here. So we went all the way around here. It's 15.7 plus the 8 and then plus this 6. We're going to add all of that up.
29.7.
And you get what?
29.7.
29.7, and it's in feet, so I'm going to go ahead and write feet. So there is our perimeter of this shape, whatever shape it would be called. A polygon, a figure. Okay, that's just part A though. Now they want us to find the area, so they want us to find out how much is gray, how much square footage is gray inside of this shape. So we need to find our areas, but I do know how to find the area of a semicircle, right? We talked about that formula earlier. And I do know how to find the area of a triangle. So I'm going to do them separately and then go ahead and add them together. What's wrong? Why are you looking confused? You got a question, ask it, please. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the hard one first. I'm going to go ahead and find the area of my semicircle. So to find the area of a semicircle, y'all told me earlier, it was pi r squared. And then because it's a semicircle, I got to divide it by 2. Because pi r squared is a full circle. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in for pi, 3.14 times, what's my r in this semicircle? It is radius, but what is radius equal to? I'm going to put a number.
5.
Why 5?
Because I have a 10 is 5.
Yeah, because your radius is not this whole dotted line. Your radius is half that dotted line from the center to the outside of the circle. So if that's half of 10 is going to give me 5. And then we got to remember to divide that by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the math on the calculator right here. So we got 5 squared. 5 squared means 5 times 5, which is 25. So this is equal to 25. So 3.14 times 25. So the top up here is going to be equal to 78.5. And then we divide by 2 because it's a semicircle. That gives me 39.25. So inside of this semicircle, that area is 39.25. Now, that's not the whole shape. That's just this stuff right here. This gray section is equal to 39.25. I got to figure out what this gray section is equal to. So we're going to do, and I can separate my stuff, so I'm going to draw me a little line. The area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2. What's the base of this triangle? The bottom. So the bottom of it's 8. Whatever you need to do, Ron, go. What's the height of the triangle? 6. And then we need to divide that by 2. So that's going to be 8 times 6 is 48. 48 divided by 2 is 24. So the area of this triangle is 24. How do we find the area of the whole figure if this is 39 and this is 24? Yeah, we're going to take those two numbers, we're going to add them together. 39.25 plus 24. 63.25 feet squared. And am I gonna take points off if you don't put feet squared? No. I'm putting feet squared because they give me the feet and it's an area. Okay? Questions about 6? Number 7. Number 7, some people made a really, really easy mistake. So they only got 1 point because they didn't do the whole perimeter. Alright? So perimeter is going to be the outside of the shape. So again, we need this line right here, which we already know is 8 centimeters. But what we don't know is what's the outside of our semicircle. What is this outside equal to? So how are we going to figure that out? What do we call the outside of a semicircle?
Circumference.
Circumference or perimeter, right? We need to find the circumference of the outside of that semicircle. So that's going to be pi times the diameter. This is a semicircle, so we divide it by 2. Pi is equal to 3.14. What's the diameter on this circle?
8 centimeters.
8, yeah, it goes all the way across the circle, right?
Yes.
If we had a whole circle right here, that one would go from side to side. So it's going to be an 8, and we're going to divide that by 2. So 3.14 times 8 gives us 25.12, divided by 2 because it's a semicircle. So that is equal to 12.56.
But you
So-
still gotta add that 8.
The outside of this circle is 12.56, and I had a lot of people that gave me that number and said that that's the answer. But that's not the answer for the perimeter of this shape, because that's just half of it. That's this part right here. How do you go all the way around this circle?
What?
How do you go all the way around? What's the whole perimeter? Is it just 12.56?
No.
No. You gotta add this piece too. Okay? You can't have your feet, your cow pasture with just fence right here and no fence right here. So 12.56 plus 8, 20.56 centimeters. 20.56 centimeters. Sure. Okay, here we go with my favorite problem. So, Sean creates a circular garden with a radius of 9.5 feet. Sure, they got the picture right here, but I don't want you to get confused with the bricks. So if you want to right here, let's go ahead and draw his garden and pretend like this is a whole other problem down here. He's got a circular garden, and it gives us the radius. So the radius goes from the center to the edge right here, and they said that is equal to 9.5 feet. Part A says Sean encloses the garden with a fence. Where's this fence gonna go at? Is it gonna go on the inside of the circle? Around the outside of the circle, right? So what is that called? Circumference. So we need to find out what is the circumference around his circle. So circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. It says use 3.14 for pi. No problem. That's what I've been doing, bro. 3.14 times the diameter. Am I putting 9.5 in right here?
No.
No. So the diameter is equal to 9.5 times 2, or 9.5 plus 9.5. Whichever one you feel like doing. I'm going to do 9.5 times 2, and that's equal to 19. So our diameter is 19. Can I do what?
She said, can you move your hand?
How I'm going to write if I move my hand out of the way? 3.14 times the diameter of 19 gives us an answer of 59.66 59.66, and it's in feet. So he needs to go to Ace Hardware, or he needs to go to Lowe's, and he needs to buy 59. I would say round it up because he might mess up some fence. He needs at least 60 feet of fence, I would say.
So that's going on.
What?
So if we put 60, it still will give us 40?
No. I want that number.
Doesn't matter if we put the feet behind it?
No. Alright, next thing he does. He's got his garden. His garden's full of dirt, but when he goes around the garden, he gets his feet all muddy. So he decides, you know what? Around the outside of my garden, I'm going to go ahead and lay some bricks down. But I need to figure out how many bricks I need. So I need to find what is this area right here equal to. How many bricks am I going to need? Lets me know, all right, how many bricks do I need? Is that perimeter? Is that circumference? No, he wants to know what's the area of just this shaded part. Okay? Do you know how to find the area of an eighth of a circle? Oh, I mean, I don't even know if this is an eighth. No. Can you find the area of the large circle?
Yes.
Can you find the area of the little circle?
Yes.
Okay? So, what we're going to do first is we're going to find the area of the large circle. The large circle is equal to pi r squared. This is a full circle. Pi is 3.14 times, what's the radius of the large circle, including the bricks?
12.5.
How you get 12.5? Because if I want to go from the center, this is important, so everybody look up. The radius of the small circle is 9.5, but I want to do the radius of the large circle, so I need to know what this little piece right here is equal to. It says it right here, 3. So the radius of the large circle is 9.5 plus the 3, which is going to be equal to 12.5. And we need to square that. So 12.5 times 12.5. It's going to give me 156.25. Then I need to multiply that times 3.14. So the large circle is 490.625. That is all of this. Is he planning on putting bricks in all of that place I just colored yellow?
No.
No. So how are we going to figure out just bricks?
Divided by...
By what? Divided by what?
3.
Why 3?
Because we're outside.
How you know the outside? No, but that's the radius. That ain't got nothing to do with how much. We don't know that little brick part is 1/3 of the big circle. We don't know that.
You gotta figure out the area of just the bricks.
I know, that's the question, right? We gotta find out what's the area of just the bricks. So how are we gonna do that? Right now, I'm doing all of that yellow stuff is straight up bricks. Is all that yellow stuff straight up bricks though?
No.
No. So how do I get rid of the part that don't have bricks?
Mine is
Divide.
I got a minus what?
8 minus 19.
by, no. Mine is by 59.66.
How you get 59.66? That's the perimeter. That's the fence.
By 19.
What I want to do, folks, is I want to find
Figure
out.
the area of just the small circle.
Good. I want to find out in this small circle, how much is this? I want to figure out what the area of that is. What was that?
Yeah.
So again, I want to figure out what's the area of this pink section right here. So I'm going to find the area of the small circle, the garden part, which is a full circle, so pi r squared, 3.14 times the radius of the small circle is 9.5. And I got to square that. So 9.5 times 9.5. That gives me 90.25, and I'm going to multiply that times 3.14.
283.385.
283.385.
Now you
So
subtract.
the large stuff was in yellow, but I didn't want all of that. I need to take out the pink part, right? Because that's not bricks. So we're going to be doing 490.625 minus the part that we don't want bricks inside of. So 490.625 minus 283.385, and I get the amount of bricks that we have is 207.24 square feet, or feet squared. So when he goes to Lowe's and he's looking to buy his bricks, he can go look at a brick and be like, okay, this one brick covers 1 square foot. So I'm gonna need at least 207.24 of them. Of course, Lowe's ain't gonna sell them 0.24, so you're gonna need 208, and then cut one.
If I would have did it, I could have.
Definitely. And your grade would have been looking much better than what you would have had, a C or a D.
So if I would actually try it and I got all of my, what I have in my report.
I don't know. I could care less about your report card right now.
No, duh.
Why would I care about your report card right now? You ain't care about your report card in the last 4.5 weeks.
It's easy now.
It's easy when I do it, but I need to make sure that y'all can do it too.
You do.
So like this one, number 9. I've been doing it. We did one like this. This one right here is pretty much the same thing as what we got going on over here, except now we got a semicircle, and instead of a triangle, we got a square. So how do you find the area of a square?
Area equal
Length times
Length time width. I want you to do number 9. You too, winner, do number 9. And I'm gonna unpause the video after. If I can find my button. There we go.
So they slide them in.
Alright, so here we go. We got number 9. I went ahead and did my answer. I know some of y'all got the right answer. So looking at this problem, we had a square and we had a semicircle going on. So I went ahead and found the area of the square first. So area of the square is equal to length times width. We've got 4 times 4, which is 16. So the area of the square by itself is 16. That is not the answer, but that's what most people put yesterday, which is 16. But we got to find out what all of this piece is equal to. So it is the area of the semicircle is equal to pi r squared. And we got to divide it by 2 because it's a semicircle. We got pi is equal to 3.14. The 4 that we have right here is the diameter, because this 4 right here is the same length as this line right here. But we don't want the diameter in our formula, we want the radius. So 4 divided by 2, put it in half, is 2. So my radius is 2. I went ahead and squared my radius, so I got 4. 3.14 divided by 2 is equal to 6.28. So the area of this semicircle is 6.28. Then to find the area of the whole shape, we do the area of the square. So how much room the square is taking up, plus how much room the semicircle is taking up, and we get, when we add those two numbers, 22.28. And that's the area of the whole shape. Okay? Questions? No questions. All right. Move on to the next page then. You ready? Every time I look up, you still writing.
You throw me so badly. You too round shopping.
Number 10. Find the perimeter and the area of the quarter circle. So to find the perimeter, what's another way to say a perimeter in a circle?
Circumference.
Circumference. So I need to find the circumference, pi times the diameter, And it's a quarter circle, so what I gotta do with it?
Divided by
4.
Divide this by 4. So pi is equal to 3.14 times, what's the diameter of this circle?
12 points. You know what?
They don't have a diameter. Because what you gotta realize, and people mess this up, Jabron, is that this circle got a lot more to it. So when they see people see a quarter circle, they're like, oh, that's the diameter right there. But it's actually not. That's the radius. So to get the diameter, we need to double that 12.5. So 12.5 plus 12.5 is 25. We're going to divide that by 4. So 3.14 times the diameter of 25 is equal to 78.5, and then we're going to divide that by 4. We get 19.625. So Dale, that's the answer, right?
No.
No.
Is that our perimeter?
Add it.
What we got to add to it?
25.
Why the 25?
Because you times by 25.
What we just found out right here was we found out the outside of our quarter circle. So all we did right here was we found out this piece right here is equal to 19.625. Is that the whole perimeter? Are all of our animals going to be in the fence if we just build a fence right here?
That's the first answer.
Yeah, that's just part of it, right? We need to find out how much this is and how much this is and add it to find the perimeter. So we need 19.625 plus 12.5 plus 12.5, right? Otherwise, we're going to have one piece of fence and all the cows are going to run out this way because they ain't have no fence there. So to find our actual perimeter, 19.625 plus 12.5 plus another 12.5. Right? And then we're going to add all of that up.
That is equal to
So plus
44.625.
12.5 plus 12.5. He says equal to what?
44.625.
44.625. That is our perimeter.
They gotta add those two together.
Nope, we just added all of them together. We added this side plus that side. That's our answer. That's our perimeter. I drew my little box, I drew my little lines right there to separate my area now. Now I gotta find the area of a quarter circle. So to find the area of a quarter circle, it's pi r squared divided by 4. 3.14 times, what's our radius?
12.5.
Okay, so it's not 25 anymore, right? That was the diameter. 12.5 squared. Remember to divide by 4. So 12.5 squared, or 12.5 times 12.5. That's equal to 156.25.
Come on, you should step out class.
So 3.14 times 156.25 divided by 4. I'd rather him blow his nose than y'all talk while I'm talking. So 156.25 times 3.14. Dividing that by 4 because it's a quarter circle. The area of this circle is 122.65625. But if you want to round it, I'm more than happy to you to round it, wherever you need to round it to. Moving on. This is another problem like our garden problem with the bricks. We only want this shaded part area. Okay? We only want this. We don't want these two semicircles. Can you find the area of the whole rectangle?
Yes.
Can you find the area of a semicircle?
Yes.
So if we find the area of the whole rectangle, that's going to include the semicircles. All of this will be gray. So then we gotta find the area of the semicircles and do what? How are we gonna take them out?
Divided by 2.
Divide by 20.
You always say divide. It's not divide. Taking out does not mean divide.
Subtract.
Minus. We gotta subtract it. We're gonna find the area of the whole rectangle and subtract the area of these two semicircles from it. Okay? So the area of the rectangle is length times width. The length is 15. The width is 6. 15 times 6
90.
is 90. So that is the whole rectangle. Whole entire thing is all this is shaded in. But it is not all shaded in. We need to find the area of one of those semicircles. Pi r squared divided by 2. Pi is 3.14 times. What would the radius of one of those circles be?
3.
How you got 3?
Because 6 is half of 3.
6 is the whole diameter, right? It goes from one side of the circle to the other. So we only want half of that.
6 is half.
So it's going to be 3.
You get what I'm trying to say? Shut up. Your dad. Yeah. With his fat dad. Oh, I'm sorry.
So 3 squared, 3 times 3 is obviously 9. 9 times 3.14 gives us 28.26. Divide that by 2 because it's a semicircle. Each semicircle, its area is 14.13. So the whole thing, this whole rectangle right here is 90. But we want to take out 14.13 for that semicircle. Is this semicircle the same size?
Yeah.
And we want to take out 14.13 on this one too. So we're starting off with 90. We're going to subtract one semicircle. So 90.
Mr. G,
Yeah,
can you please send Christine to the office for just a second?
sure.
Thank you.
So I just did 90 minus 14.13.
75.8.
So that's taking out one semicircle. Now I got to take out the second semicircle. So it's going to be 75.87 minus 14.13. 61.74 is the area of just the shaded section.
Jimmy, said don't move.
Okay? Sure. Does anybody have any questions about this one?
No.
Let's talk about number 12. What shape do you see for number 12?
A triangle. A semicircle. No, a quarter circle.
A crescent.
I see a quarter circle. What else do you see?
Crescent.
There is no triangle. There is no triangle. That line is curved like I don't know what. It's a what? And a square. There's a quarter circle here, and it is inside of a square. It even tells us that. The figure is made up of a quarter circle within a square. Do you want to find the area of the whole square?
No. No, just a shaded piece.
Just the shaded part. So if you find the area of the whole square, would it also be this piece right here?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you find the area of the whole square, but then you take out the quarter circle, is that going to leave you with just a shaded part? Go ahead and do that. So find the area of the whole square. That's going to be all of it, including the part that's not shaded. And then you got to find the area of the quarter circle and subtract that. Take that part out, and that's going to leave you with just the shaded section left. All right, so we're on number 12. Let's go ahead and take a look at the answer for number 12. So what I've got right here, the first thing I did was I found the area of the whole square. So if this entire thing was shaded, the way that I would find that is area is equal to length times width. We got 16 times by 16. That gives me 256. So 256 little squares would be if all of this thing is shaded. But the whole thing's not shaded. this quarter circle is not shaded. So I gotta figure out what that is and remove it. So area is equal to pi r squared divided by 4. 3.14 for the pi. The radius, this is actually the radius. Because it's a quarter circle, that little line is automatically the radius because it's a whole circle will go all the way around like this. So that's the radius. So I'll put 16 in. 16 squared is 16 times 16, which is 256, what we just did right here. So then 3.14 times 256, and then divided by 4, because it's a quarter circle, is 200.96. So the whole thing is 256. Just this is 200.96. So to subtract those two, that means that just this shaded part right here is equal to 55.04. Okay? Good. And now the last page, number 13.
Stop. Sir, wait. Sir, don't flip.
It says to mark the circumference of each circle given the radius. So, circumference is what we're talking about here. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. And this one is made for you to sit up here and just go 3.14 times 4, 3.14 times 3, 3.14 times 5, 3.14 times 1. Is that going to give you the right answer?
No.
No, because circumference needs the diameter. So, if you go through this and say, oh, if the radius is 4, the diameter is... If the radius is 4,
The diameter is 8.
the diameter is 8. So we would be doing for this one 3.14 times 8, which is 25.12. So my correct answer for that one is right here. If this one's the radius is 3, the diameter is...
6.
If the diameter radius is 5, the diameter is...
10.
And if the radius is 1, the diameter is 2. Go through and multiply those diameters times 3.14 and check the right answer. You got this whole page, the back page, right? You didn't do the bonus? You didn't do the bonus?
I did it, I got it wrong.
Oh, okay. I'll show you how to do the bonus too. So, 3.14 times 6 is 18.84. 3.14 times 10 is 31.4. And 3.14 times 2 is 6.28. So those are your correct answers right there. This one right here, number 14, required a little bit of work too. So, they give us the radius on some of these problems, and some of them they give us the circumference. I can find the circumference if they give me the radius. It's going to be C is equal to pi times D. But does that formula ask me for the radius?
No.
No. So if the radius is 8, the diameter is actually 16. So 3.14 times 16 is going to give me 50.24. And then if I want to find the area, area is equal to pi r squared. Well, they give me the radius right here, it's 8. So if I square that, that's 8 times 8, which is 64. And then I multiply it times pi, times 3.14. And that gives me 200.96. Okay? Now, the only other one I'm going to do with you is this one right here, because this one they give me the circumference. So, if they give me circumference, I know circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, and they give me the circumference as 62.8. I know pi is equal to 3.14. What I don't know is I don't know the diameter, right? How do I get the diameter by itself? Divided by what?
2.
It's the only number I got with D.
3.14.
I got 3.14 times D. So how do I get rid of times 3.14?
3.14.
I divide by 3.14 on both sides. So that means that my diameter is 62.8 divided by 3.14. Oh wait, what I did, yeah. 62.8, I think I did the wrong number, that's why. 3.14, I get my diameter is equal to 20. Is that my radius? No, that's my diameter right here is equal to 20. So what would my radius be? A 10. And then I can go and find my area. If I got my radius now, it's radius squared, so 10 times 10, which is 100, times pi, 3.14. And this one right here, their area is 314. Okay, that's the only two I'm going to do for you. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the blanks. You should. I would go ahead and practice the rest of these at home tonight and make sure you can come up with these answers. So this one, the area is 12.56. This one is 3.14. This one's 28.26. Circumference right here is 12.56. It's the same exact thing as the area. Right here we got 6.28. And then the radius down here is a 3. So go ahead and copy those numbers down, go work those problems out, make sure you can get those. You're going to have to type these exact numbers into the computer tomorrow if these are the same numbers that I go with. Because very easily I can change this to a 10, I can change this to a 7, I can change this to a 9. Just make it be all different. That way Jalea Jones will go home and try to remember all the numbers that go in the box. Alright, and then our bonus, the last one. They want me to find a perimeter. They only give me one number right here. I know this straight line right here is equal to 5. So that means that this line right here is also equal to 5. What I need to do is find out what these curved lines are equal to. And all of those curved lines look like what type of shape?
Quarter circle.
Quarter circles. So I'm going to be looking to find the circumference, because that's the perimeter, circumference of those quarter circles. So circumference is equal to pi times the diameter divided by 4. 3.14 times, what's my diameter?
5.
Wrong.
10.
That is a quarter circle, so that is the radius right here. That circle will go all the way around like this here. So the diameter is 2 times the radius. So my diameter is 10. So 3.14 times 10, that's going to give me 31.4. Divide that by 4.
7.85.
7.85. So that's for each one of these quarter circles. So this outside piece, this little rounded part right here is equal to 7.85. This one's equal to 7.85. This one's equal to 7.85. And this one's equal to 7.85. So all I need to do to find a perimeter is add all those numbers up. So 5 plus 5 plus 4 7.85s. And when you add all those up, you get 41.4. And that is everything that you need to know about circles this year. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Want us to go over anything? So everybody's going to ace this test tomorrow.
Maybe. I mean, I can get a
I
better
would.
grade. Yeah, better.
I don't want a better grade. I want higher than a C.
I'm
gonna shoot my shot at the D.
You ain't even gonna study because you don't got no sense.
All right, and winner, if you've got any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment on Google Classroom where I'm going to post these videos at.
Bye, Winter.
Oh, y'all want to tell her that?
Yeah.
She got 12 dollars.